Should you go to the gym if you have pelvic floor dysfunction? That's a question that I'm asked so often. And I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm going to give you the reason behind it first. Would you be driving your car to the other side of the country if the chassis or the frame of the car was off? I'm sure the answer is no. So when you go to a gym, when you have dysfunctional patterns of movement, when you have instability of your joints, then you're having too much of an ask. Pelvic floor dysfunction is instability of the house that pelvic floor is the floor of. Shouldn't you stabilize the pelvis? Either the the joints within the pelvis, or whatever is connected to the pelvis, which is your spine and your lower extremities. Shouldn't you stabilize this first before you load it with more exercises at the gym or exercises with weight? If you are thinking, well, geez, I should be doing some kind of an exercise because I have pelvic floor dysfunction, you're 100% right. But the kind of exercises that you're looking for are not the first step exercises. The first step exercise is biological breathing. If you don't know what that is, search for biological breathing within this channel and you will see what that looks like and what that's all about. The second thing you want to do is you want to be able to work on the areas of your body that directly impact your pelvic stability. That means your abdominals in the front, your obliques that are on the side, and your paraspinals in the back. That means what's not happening or happening too much up above your abdominal diaphragm needs to get some attention. That means your abdominals, your obliques are still playing a role, and they have to now learn how to work with the muscles that stabilize your shoulder blade. What I just covered is what has to happen within your trunk, and your trunk is where your gymnastic leotard would cover. None of these exercises should ever be done in isolation, meaning you don't isolate your rectus abdominis, your six-pack ab, and try to do crunches, because your abs have to learn how to play with the rest of the muscles in this area. The best exercises, in my opinion, are the ones that highlight or spotlight the area we're working on while the rest of the body still plays in the background. So that means holding a form and challenging that muscle has to happen. This only happens when you're doing developmental exercises. Those are exercises that we have learned by studying human babies. So abdominal crunches, doing the little, whatever it is, pick whatever it is that we typically do, what you see a lot, are the wrong muscles that not long exercises that you're doing. Now that you have addressed this, now you go to exercises for the upper and lower muscles and extremities. That does not mean you isolate your upper and lower extremity to work them. That means you follow the patterns of movement and you follow the forms that we all have done as babies, where the rest of the body does its own work as a background musician while the spotlight is on the lower extremity. My channel on functional mobility The reference should be in the description box, is a great example of what these look like. My channel on pelvic floor dysfunction has some of those exercises as well. So you got to understand that you cannot just isolate a muscle and work it out and expect to see a magical conclusion. When you listen to a symphony orchestra, you may hear the piano the loudest, but there are a lot of other musical instruments that are playing in the background. That is exactly how movement is in your body. At any given moment, there is a spotlight on a body part that when it comes to movement, but the rest of your body is doing its job. It doesn't go on a vacation. It's doing its job to support the movement. This is a lot for you to perhaps absorb, but I hope that it makes sense. Certain things have to be in place in order for you to see the result you're asking for. If you skip the basics and try to jump the gun without following those, establishing those foundational things, you will not get the result long term, if at all. Hope that this helped. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take care.